In the light, the sack stays heavy and the dreams stay vivid. Now, in my culture, where I'm from, here in the West in the United States, we have a story about a man, a fat man, with a full sack of presents. And he empties that sack once a year. Once a year, he empties that sack and he gives it to all the children, right? Now, me, myself, I've had a full sack, a different kind of full sack, for a while. And Santa is not the only one with a full sack dreaming. You know, Santa dreams of that day. Santa dreams of being able to eat cookies and all that. But we're not the same. You know, we both have a full sack, but we're not the same. And so, jokes aside, this is actually going to be a very informative video about dreaming, celibacy, monk mode, etc. when it comes to this kind of topic, because it's important to recognize that when you dream on celibacy, your dreams are going to be more vivid. And really, just in general, whenever you're more spiritual, you're going to be more vivid. Like, celibacy is not the end-all be-all when it comes to purity. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and fornicate or anything of the sort, but what I'm saying is that you don't have to comply to these thought algorithms. Like, you yourself are the commandments. Like, your spirit in its fullness, in its totality, you are the commandments of God. Whether you're looking at the commandments from the Bhagavad Gita, or I guess they don't technically have commandments, but in some ways they do, or the Bible, like whatever it is that is coming from a place of love and heavenliness. Heavenliness and love is a place where you come to freely give and receive. That's it. I mean, you are, wherever you are, you can be in spirit in its totality. And dreams are going to have a really big effect on this. Now, I've been documenting my dreams for, let's see, since 2018, 2019. And so it's been 7 or 8 years now. And you can go back and you can look through and you can see like the progression of events in those dreams. And you can see how maybe there are demonic like activities in your dreams and all of that. Now, the thing is that with the demon dreams, when it comes to demons, I don't necessarily think that demons are real, but they're only going to take from you in regard to you believing that they have power over you. Dreams, when it comes to dreams and demonic activity, demons try to enter your dreams, and they are only going to enter if you invite them in. You can only invite these malevolent spirits inside you. And so Santa Claus, now if you look at Santa and Satan, you know, it's basically like the same thing. Like as far as the word play goes, right? Santa is spelled with the same letters as Satan and all of that. And when it comes to dreams and such, when it comes to integrating the understanding of these things, I'm not saying that Santa's evil, but what I'm saying is that the culture has these certain roots that are designed to take your life force. Now, I don't really think that it's wrong to celebrate Christmas, okay? I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that just be mindful of what you're giving your attention to, especially when you're celibate. Because when you have a full sack, as a man specifically, holy smokes, dude. Your energy is so much more powerful and potent. It's like people have a certain type of response to you. Some people might even be starstruck by your presence. They don't know how to handle it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like this, this amazing, like, high level being, but maybe you are. Who knows, right? But your sense of liberation comes from you thinking about not thinking, and thinking about thinking about not thinking. It's all paradoxical. It's all very paradoxical. And so the more that you can assess your own understanding of yourself through a dimensional lens of seeing that which is true and living that which is true, you're going to let go of these things even in your dreams, because you might see, well, Thaddeus, I've experienced these demons in my dreams. It's like, well, yeah, that's because they are real. But realize that anything true never really dies. Okay, let me repeat that for you guys. Anything true never really dies. Time does not exist. In fact, recently I've even wondered if grief is preposterous, and I think that it is preposterous, because grief, we usually get sad when people die, right? Or when cultures start to shift, or like when society is, ending or whatever. Like, society in the West is definitely collapsing, right? But I'm not sad about it, but I'm not really rejoicing about it either. I'm just being with it, and I'm accepting what's happening, and I'm just living the life in its totality. And I'm doing what I can each and every day to make the world a little bit more lovable. Because again, heavenliness is a place, not just like it's a place in your heart, and you can share that through your spirit with other people. And so when it comes to cultures, and like maybe you don't celebrate these holidays, right? Because I didn't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, or Thanksgiving for the last like 3-4 years, maybe 5 years, who knows. It's been a long time. And I've always felt like the demonic activity was really high around these time periods. But then I realized over the past few months, I was like, you know what? I'm giving my energy to these demons. I'm literally giving them my energy just by me, and the witches and the warlocks, just by me thinking that, like, oh, around these time periods, do you guys see that? This bee is just like hanging out right over my knee. That's crazy. It was just chilling. It was like a very friendly bee. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but so the demons, the demons. So they'll try to enter into your dreams, and I noticed that especially during the like October to December months, that the demonic activity was increasing. But then as soon as January happened this year, just a few months ago, I was thinking to myself, if I keep giving these, like I have to feel like I have to fast, right? I have to fast in order to get rid of these demons. Why do you have to fast? It's not to say that it's not a tool, but like, aren't you kind of attaching yourself to a spiritual like practice outside of you? It's kind of like a ritual, right? Rituals are very useful for the practicality of psychological integration. But if you're using the spiritual practice as a way to attach yourself to these ideas that you have about it, well then, are you actually free? Are you actually liberated? I don't think so. And so one thing that I've been more mindful of is seeing, okay, well, am I doing these, like if I'm going to fast, am I doing this fast because I want to have some type of gain from it, or some type of like, I have to keep the demons away? Or am I doing it because of there's something to integrate here? And so I'll have this integration. And I think this is what cultures and like celebrations are supposed to do, right? Like we just had Easter the other day. Well, culturally, Easter is supposed to be a sign that spring has come, right? And that's so crazy. As I say, spring has come, the sun comes back out. Very symbolic there. Like that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a symbol. Celebrations and holidays are supposed to be a symbolism that there's something more coming into play. And when you are celibate, or you are on monk mode, or whatever it is that you are perceiving to be, there's going to be certain things that are happening where neighbors came out. I don't really remember where I was exactly other than culture, but we'll just pick it up again where we left off somewhere. As far as my consciousness is concerned, the awareness of it, we were talking about how when you have a full sack, the energies around these holidays are going to be more influential for you. And it's because, I mean, they're rituals, right? They are very ritualistic. And I think that it's one of the reasons why we need to pay more attention to the cycles. I don't like saying pay attention. I would rather say invest attention. Don't pay attention. Don't spend your time. Invest your time. Invest your attention. Because if you're investing your attention and your time and your energy into something that is just really, again, it's like demonic, right? It's only demonic because you think that. It's only demonic because you think that there's demons. Because when you realize that you are operating from a place of love, and you can operate from that place of love and heavenliness all the time. Like, you don't need demons. And then you'll hear, oh, well, but Jesus says the only way to cast out demons is by prayer and fasting. It's like, well, yeah, but like, and then what? Like you don't have to keep doing this. Like, if salvation, like in the book of Ephesians, salvation is a gift. And if salvation truly is a gift, well, then you don't need to, all you need to do is just receive that gift. You don't need to continually fast or do these things. Like, in fact, I would say that it kind of prohibits you to some degree. I don't know why you would want to increase your suffering. Now, I think that there's something to do with the will. Like, that definitely can increase your will, and it definitely can help you with spiritual practices, of course. But if you are attached to, like, oh, I need to fast in order to do this, I need to do this external thing in order to help heal in my internal thing. Okay, well, what about when Jesus Christ says it's not that which goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of him? Well, that means that, like, your voice is spirit, right? Your voice shines. It's part of the element of air, right, in alchemy. And it's also, well, what's being produced from you? Like, what are you creating? You know, what are you innovating? What are you reinventing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your time that you are given? Because yes, this salvation is a gift. And I don't think life is a sin. I don't think that we are born in sin. I think that what that means on a psychological level, because I know that some of the spiritual people will hear that and be like, whoa, wait a second. It's like, you're born in sin because you think you are. You're born in sin because you think that sin even exists to begin with. Now, there are things that are going to deter you from being in a living place where you can joyously give and receive with maximal emotions of positivity, but you don't have to be so confined to these things. I mean, have you ever really searched for yourself, or are you just, oh, well, it says so in the book? Well, it's in the book, so if it says it's in the book, it's the same thing with any other religion, like the Quran. It's like, oh, well, we're not supposed to do this, well, because Muhammad said so. Okay, well, but if it's going to help you get closer to your, like, the God image in your psyche, why would you listen to a book? And why would you listen to someone you don't even really know, you've never really met? Why would you listen to these people? This is what I mean when I say that we're dreaming. Like, dreams not only happen in the subconscious level, they happen in the conscious level. Consciousness only exists because we think that it does. The ego gives it this sense of, okay, I'm here now. Okay, I'm sitting in a chair and I'm enjoying the sunshine, and I'm this and I'm wanting that, and I need this and I desire this. Like, when people try to get rid of their desires, that's an ego trap. in of itself. It's like, oh, I'm desiring not to desire. Well, now what? Well, I don't have any desires. It's like, well, you do have desires, though. You do have desires because you're desiring not to desire. And when you desire not to desire, that's still a desire. So what do? Well, you just live with the desire, man. Like, you just live with, okay, this is what I'm wanting, because that's part of being human. You don't have to be so, like, set in stone with everything all the time. You know, this life is so much more beautiful, and you can just live. When you get to a place where you can just live again, that's spirituality. As far as I'm concerned, and from what I can tell, when you're just living again, and you just do what you need to do, and you live how you need to live while you're on this physical plane, because, yeah, we have bodies, but you don't need to live in the body. Like, I mean, you do need to live in the body while we have the body, but you don't need to, like, be so focused on the external and how it influences your body. Of course, like, for example, the reason that I bring this up is because yesterday I got my testosterone results in a blood work session. And because I've been on semen retention for years, right? And I've been doing celibacy for years as well. I work out every day I can. I'm not in, like, the most tip-top shape. Like, I'm not a bodybuilder, but I'm healthy, right? And for the most part, I mean, I get my sunshine, obviously. I'm out in nature, and I have good relationships. I have healthy relationships with people. I know how to have positive environments. I keep my space very clean. I'm not a messy type of person, right? Like, I'm not perfect, of course. Like, there's parts of my life that are messy, sure, but I'm not a messy person. Like, I'm not, like, super aggressive, but I'm very assertive in my life as well. I know what I want, and I'm going after it. And I got my testosterone results yesterday, and they were very low considering the numbers. And, it made me think. I was like, wait, what the heck? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I eat well. I work out. I'm healthy. I have more energy than I've ever had in my life. What's going on? Like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And then I thought about that, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, just hearing a number. Isn't it crazy how just hearing a number externally? Because we're doing a semen retention. We're doing the Regal retention study. For those of you that don't know, we're starting this today where we're doing a Regal retention study. And it's for 30 days, and we've had about 40 volunteers sign up to do this. And then we also have members in the Regal Academy that are going to participate in this. And the idea is to see how this affects, like, how does semen retention affect the psychological behavior and the spiritual behavior of the individual through time. And one thing that I've already begun to think about is I wonder if testosterone is even a metric that we ought to be concerned with when it comes to semen retention or celibacy or etc. Like, as men, I don't know if, golly, they don't want to have this conversation be told, apparently. Lots of hammering going on. But we're bringing the hammer down with this information. And so it's just very interesting, right? Like, the testosterone levels are low, and yet most areas of my life I'm doing well. Like, I'm doing okay. I'm not, like, the best, I'm not the greatest, but I'm okay, and I love my life. And I would say that that's more important than a number, right? It's more important than an external reflection of what you think is supposed to be, right? So the same thing goes with anything practical wise. It's the same thing with your dreams. I mean, just because you have certain experiences or certain things externally, it doesn't make them true, and it doesn't mean that it's going to really have a solid impact on you in your life unless you make it so, unless you allow it. Like, you're the one inviting that stuff into your life. So for a brief moment, I was like, man, should I be concerned about these low testosterone levels? because they're not like low, but they're like lower than they should be, considering everything that I'm doing in my life, right? And so I was thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe this is the wrong question to ask. Maybe the right question is, well, what exactly is the best metric then to measure success when it comes to having a full sack and celibacy? Well, it seems to me is, well, what's your psychological functions? And are you living life at ease with existence or not? Because if that's the case, if you're doing that, well then what's happening externally or any external numbers doesn't really matter. It matters, but it doesn't really matter. So the same thing goes for culture, right? This is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about culture and dreams, is like sometimes culture, like Santa Claus, will put you in a certain frame of mind during certain time frames because of the cultural ritual that comes along with it. And if you participate or not, that's up to you. But it does play a factor if you let it play a factor. So, with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful for you. And I hope that everybody stays blessed. Peace. Until next time.